Morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss the concept of hybridization. The concept of hybridization is introduced to explain the shape of molecules. We have learned that the formation of covalent bond requires one unpaired electron with each of the two overlapping orbitals. This means that the number of bonds formed by an atom depends to some extent on the number of unpaired electrons in the atoms. Therefore, in accordance with electronic configurations, beryllium, which is having configuration of 1s2, 2s2, is expected to be inert since it is not having any unpaired electron, so it should not be able to do any bond. Boron, having configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1 with only one unpaired electron, should be monovalent, and carbon with electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2 with two unpaired electrons should be divalent. But in actual practice, beryllium forms divalent compounds, boron forms trivalent compounds, and carbon forms tetravalent compounds. As you can see the example of methane. Here carbon is forming tetravalent bonds with 4 bonds with 4 hydrogens. Therefore, on the basis of simple valence bond theory, it is not possible to explain the concept of bonding. And in order to explain these anomalies, a new concept known as hybridization has been introduced. Now, let us study this concept by taking the example of carbon compounds. As you know that in ground state, carbon is having configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. So, if carbon forms 4 bonds, then the bond formation from s orbital should be different from the bond formed by p orbital. Why? That the question to answer to this question can be explained on the basis of the structure. For example, s orbital, as you know that s orbital is spherically symmetrical in shape. It is spherically symmetrical. But the p orbitals, they are dumbbell shape. Here you can see the example of py orbital. Then px orbital, it is again dumbbell in shape. And then pz orbital, this is again dumbbell in shape. Now, since s orbital and p orbitals, they are different in shapes, so the bonding from s orbital should be different from the bonding of p orbital. But when we see when we see the bonding in case of methane, as we have seen it in the previous slide, that all the four orbitals, of same they are of same energy and same shape. Then now the question arises to our mind that how the carbon generate four equal orbitals which are having same energy, same shape as well as same size. The answer to this question is explained on the basis of hybridization. Hybridization means the phenomena of intermixing of orbitals of slightly different energies to form new orbitals and to redistribute their energies to give a new set of orbitals having equivalent energies and shapes. For example, as you can see in carbon, its ground state is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, and one of its p orbital is empty. But in the excited state of carbon, one of the electron from p orbit s orbital, that is from here, it has been promoted to the here over here, that is it has been promoted to the pz orbital. Now the carbon is having four orbitals which are half filled. Now, at the time of bond formation, these four orbitals, they intermix their energies, that is, they undergo hybridization and resulting in the formation of four new orbitals, as you can see over here. Now, there is no energy gap. Here you can see the energy gap between the s and p orbital, but over here there is no energy gap between all the four orbitals, and these orbitals are now said to be sp3 hybridized orbitals, and they are having same energy, same shape, and same size. These are the characters of hybridization. That is, after hybridization, the number of orbitals which are undergoing hybridization are equal in energy and shape. Moreover, the number of orbitals which are undergoing hybridization then is equal to the number of orbitals that formed. That is, the number of hybridized orbitals is always equal to the number of orbitals undergoing hybridization. For example, as you can see, four orbitals are undergoing hybridization over here, and how many new orbitals are formed? They are again four. The hybrid orbitals are more effective in forming stable bonds than the pure atomic orbitals. Now these hybridized orbitals, they arrange themselves in such a way so that they have stable arrangement. Now these arrangements, they determine the geometry of the molecules. They determine the geometry of the molecules. This is the concept of hybridization, which I have already discussed. That is, it is the phenomena of mixing of atomic orbitals to form special orbitals. The atoms are responding as needed to give the minimum energy for the molecule. Now this is the formation of sp3 hybridized orbital. Now in this sp3 hybridization, in the sp3 hybridization, you can see that 1s and 3p orbitals, they have combined. This is s orbital, which is spherically symmetrical, and these are p orbitals, 3p orbitals, which are combining. Now after hybridization, you can see over here the shapes of orbitals are different from the shapes of the combining orbitals, but they are more like dumbbell shape. Why? Because during hybridization, the contribution from these three p orbitals, this is 1, this is 2, and this is the third one, p orbital, the contribution is 75%, and the contribution from the s orbital is 25%. So the new orbitals which are formed over here, they are more like p orbitals, but the difference is that their lobes are now not of equal shape dumbbell. These dumbbells are not of equal size. One lobe is greater, as you can see over here, and another lobe is smaller. This is the difference between hybridized and unhybridized orbital. Now after hybridization, again four new orbitals are formed. Now these four orbitals, they will arrange themselves in such a way so that they can have minimum repulsions and maximum stability. So in case of sp3 hybridized orbitals, two types of arrangements are possible. First one is the square planar geometry, and second one is the tetrahedral geometry. In case of square planar geometry, the bond angle is 90 degrees. But in case of tetrahedral geometry, the bond angle is 109 degrees and 28 minutes. Since in tetrahedral geometry, the bond angle is greater, so the orbitals will be at maximum distance and they will feel minimum repulsions. So they arrange themselves in tetrahedral arrangement, as you can see in this picture. Here, for the clarification purpose, since it is three-dimensional arrangement, two lobes are shown in front and two lobes are shown at the back. Now these lobes, they combine with 1s orbital of hydrogen, resulting in the formation of a methane molecule. Now coming to sp2 hybridization of a carbon atom. Again, we will start from the ground state of carbon, that is having configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, and one of the p orbital is empty. After promotion, that is at the excited state, one of the s electron that gets promoted to the 2p orbital. Now in case of sp2 hybridization, only one s and two p orbitals, they undergo hybridization, resulting in the formation of sp2 hybridized orbitals and one of the p orbital that remains as such. Here you can see, when these orbitals combine, these hybridized orbitals, they arranged themselves at an angle of 120 degrees and adopt trigonal planar geometry. And one of the p orbital which remains unhybridized, that lies at which, this is the p orbital which is unhybridized, and its second lobe is at the back, and it lies at the plane perpendicular to the plane of the hybridized orbitals. This is the orbital view of the sp2 hybridization, where you can see the p orbitals. First you can see, this is the first orbital of carbon which is hybridized, sp2 hybridized. It is forming covalent bond with another sp2 hybridized orbital of the carbon. For the clarity sake, hydrogens are not shown over here, and another two hybrid orbitals are also not shown. Only hybridization between carbon, sp2 hybridized orbital of carbon, first carbon with second sp2 hybridized orbital of carbon, forming covalent bond is shown over here. And second lobes of p orbitals, that is these lobes which are unhybridized, and they are lying at plane perpendicular to the plane of hybridized orbitals, they form pi bonds. The hybridized orbitals, they form sigma bonds, while the unhybridized orbitals, they form pi bonds. This is the overall view of the molecule of ethylene, where you can see the hybridized orbitals, all the hybridized orbitals of carbon. This is the first hybridized orbital which is forming covalent bond with the first hybridized orbital of second carbon. This is the second hybridized orbital which is forming covalent bond with one hydrogen. This is the third hybridized orbital of carbon which is forming covalent bond with the second hydrogen. Same you can see over here. And these are the fourth one which is unhybridized p orbital which is forming pi bond with another carbon. This is the Lewis structure formula of a ethylene molecule, where you can see three sigma bonds. You can see three sigma bonds. This is first sigma bond, this is second sigma bond, and this is the third sigma bond. And this one is the pi bond formed by a carbon. Now coming to the sp hybridization of a carbon atom. Again, starting from the ground state, its configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, and one of the p orbital is empty. But at the excited state, this 1s electron, it gets promoted to the 2p orbital, and in sp hybridization, only one s and p orbital, they undergo hybridization, and two p orbitals, they undergo remain as such. With these two p orbitals, they are lie at plane perpendicular to the plane of the hybridized orbitals. Now when one s and one p orbital, they undergo hybridization, they arrange themselves at an angle of 180 degrees so that they are at maximum angle from distance from each other, and they adopt a linear geometry as you can see in the diagram. This is the overall view of a sp hybridized orbital. In the yellow color you can see two sp hybridized lobes arranged themselves at an angle of 180 degree, and the blue lobes are showing unhybridized p orbitals which are lying at planes perpendicular to the plane of hybridized orbitals. This is the overall bonding in case of acetylene. In the first one, you can only carbon atom, only hybridized orbitals are shown. This is the first hybridized orbital of carbon which is bonding with this first hybridized orbital of another carbon forming covalent bond, and this is the second hybridized orbital which is forming covalent bond with 1s orbital of hydrogen. Here in the second B part, only unhybridized p orbitals are shown. This is the first unhybridized p orbital which is forming pi bond with the first unhybridized p orbital of another carbon, and this is the second unhybridized p orbital which is forming a pi bond with the another unhybridized p orbital of second carbon. And this is the overall view where you, in the blue color you can see the hybridized orbital, and in the orange color you can see pi bonds which are lying in a plane perpendicular to the plane of the rings. So I hope from this the concept of hybridization will be clear to you. Thank you very much.